Hello, they call me Mads. I am what you might call a tattoo enthusiast. I got 2 tattoos when I was 18, started these mechanical wings on my 18th birthday. They took about 4 sittings. I also got a hidden Mickey tattoo. Me and my mom have matching hidden Mickey tattoos behind our left ears. And then 12 years passed. And 2020 hit, and I decided to pick up tattooing again. It was something I was always interested in. And today's video is somewhere around 10 in this series. We're doing some gray value shadings. These numbers right here are the ink drops that are going to be going in my cups eventually. I've been using very large cups based off the suggestion of a YouTube page, art-something, also known as daveinks.88. He's a really great YouTube tattooing resource. He primarily talks about machines, but I've learned a ton from him. So if you're also interested in tattooing, check his stuff out. So I have these cups that are on the right-hand side, the really large 24mm ones, and got really used to those. I started with them because it gave me more depth. I'm less likely to poke my needle in the bottom of the cup. But I'm having a hard time finding them again, plus they kind of waste ink. So I picked up some more conventional sized cups. These colored ones are made of silicone, which is pretty neat. They've got like a silicone cup on the bottom of them, and they stick to surfaces, which is fun in theory. But I personally wrap everything in saran wrap, and I'm not totally sure if they're going to be able to stick to saran wrap. They didn't really work during this little test, but maybe if the saran wrap is really taut on the table, it'll work fine. Either way, it's neat, but I'll stick with my tried and true technique of smearing Vaseline on a popsicle stick and then adhering my cups down with that. So in case you're new here, I have been filling up my lower left leg with my own drawings. Started kinda as a project during the stay-at-home times, and now we're here. If you are watching YouTube to learn how to do tattoos on your own in your home, I demand that you clean everything with alcohol twice. You need to scrub it really hard, really good, and get all the dirt out of it, let that dry, and then use alcohol again. And then you gotta put towels down on your stuff, don't tattoo on your bed, wrap everything in saran wrap. I show you this every single video I do because it's very important. Don't do something stupid. It's not that hard. It doesn't take me that long to clean everything. I use alcohol on my keyboard, my cell phone, like anything I might potentially touch. Just, you shouldn't be doing this at home, and you already know that. So this is what we're gonna do to make up for that fact. So Team Huddle, we all agree to play it safe. That's what we're gonna do. Also, if you're new to tattooing, try exfoliating the area you're gonna put your tattoo in advance. Also moisturize it like a half an hour, 45 minutes beforehand. It just helps you out a lot. I recorded this really nice shot of me putting ink in these cups, and then I stuck my elbow in front of the shot. So I have a full cup, a cup with only 16 drops, one with 11, one with 6, so on and so forth. Then I top them all off with witch hazel. If you are using a machine, you don't have to worry about mixing your ink. Your machine will kind of mix it for you. Either way, though, start from the lighter end and work your way up to the darker side when you mix them. I just use a toothpick myself. If you're tattooing in a stick and poke style like I do, you're probably gonna want to stir it a little bit just to make sure you're not only getting witch hazel on top or getting an inconsistent amount. So today we're doing a shading with a 9-round shader on my little AFI tattoo. Shading goes a lot faster than doing line work, probably because when you're doing line work you're trying to be very precise, and you can kind of like throw quite a few more pokes when you're doing it this way. I only spent an hour on this guy. He's only, the size of a dollar coin though, so he's smaller. But it was also really fun because you're kind of building it up a little bit. This felt a little bit more creative and artsy. But I'm still always really nervous to get started. Just like with my line art, I have like dozens of versions of drawings of these, of being like, oh, I want the shading to go this way, but the light is hitting my other tattoos this way, so now I have to draw it another way, and just overthinking it to the point of like putting off the tattoos. But I did this guy first because I wanted to get a good sense of how the shading is. As you can see, I've done a little bit of shading in my rat. He needs a lot more work though. He's actually supposed to be a black rat. One day we'll work our way up. I just thought he was so cute and I didn't want to mess him up. But just like with those ink cups, I really did not choose my angles well this day. I wanted something nice and straight on, but we lost a lot of footage because, like this, I keep leaning into the shot. I also can't see my my little screen because it's over my shoulder, but it doesn't matter too much. You kind of get the sense of how this is coming along. I know I was nervous, so I started building up with the lighter colors first, but you're just gonna like cause more irritation to your skin, so if you're nervous, test it out on some fake skin. I skipped that step because I assumed my skin was going to take it differently than the fake skin was going to. And I was just like, we'll do it live. And here we are. So yeah, this was the test run before I did the tattoo I was second most nervous about moving on to, which is my Star of Chaos. I love my Star of Chaos. I want it to become my favorite tattoo, but it gotta get good first. And luckily, I ended up being pleasantly surprised with it. Before that, we did a little bit of work on our little rat Chi here, just giving him a little bit more shading, like around his toes and stuff like that. Didn't do too much. I didn't film it very well, but I also went into my float tattoo and touched him up a little bit as well. And here is what we look like the next day. I am pretty happy with him. There's the little bit of work I did on the float, just giving him a little more dimension. If you watch my series, the last tattoo I started was my avatar tattoo. It's itchy. It's almost 4 weeks old now, and it's still a little bit raised. I am dying to finish this guy up, but I need him to heal all the way because I'm doing an experiment. The first round was with textured needles. The next round will not be. I want to see if I heal faster with the non-textured. I can almost guarantee that's what's going to happen because I haven't had anything take this long to heal. It's possible I just irritated it in the healing process though, but still a little bit raised. Still super excited about him. The whole body of the cicada is going to be filled in black, and I want to do good shading on the wings and everything. I can't wait for it to be done. I just shaved. And I just rubbing alcohol on it. Ooh. Hey, look how blown out I am. Should have thought about that before I clicked all these lights on. I'm borrowing a camera. I left the auto settings on. I should have played with it a little bit more before I filmed this. Whatever. Oh, trying to put gloves on when my hands are still wet because I hate myself. Patronizing YouTuber round 2. Wear gloves. Change your gloves. Check on your gloves. Make sure there's no holes in your gloves. Invest in good gloves. Oh no, I'm not gonna risk getting sued by the mouse over this one. But seriously, clean stuff multiple times and like whatever and be safe. Thank you. And on to the actual shading of the Star of Chaos. I used a larger needle, a 14 round shader primarily, and I believe I had either a 9 or a 7 round shader off to the side to get all the smaller marks. The design here, I was kind of going for an organically forged metal Star of Chaos. I had a reference photo off to the side, but that reference was mostly to make sure all the light was consistent. I want this to be very dimensional, but I'd like to establish my own tattooing style of chaotic, organically chaotic, something like that. Not quite biomech, a little more metal than biomech. I'm not gonna define it now, but we'll see where it ends up. I'm really happy with how this ends up looking though, so it's a great start. I did let these lines heal a few months. You can go back to one of my older videos if you'd like to check out that process. When I was putting the lines down on my kneecap, it was kind of painful, especially on like the 3rd or 4th pass. I was having a little bit of a hard time. I was jumping a little bit. But this, since it was A, fully healed, and B, just shading, was really not painful at all. I actually don't remember being like, ow, never thinking, ow. Like, I felt it, but it was never actually painful. Even though this was, gosh, maybe 8 passes or something like that. Once again, started lighter and tried to work my way up. Decided I didn't care so much about overworking the skin. This is truly an experiment in shading. because I haven't done too much of that yet. It's, well, you know what? Something needs to be acknowledged really quick. I have developed a bad habit of oversaturating my needles. If you are watching this to observe and learn, I don't have good tips on how to do it, but you want to be careful about only dipping a little bit of your needle into the ink at a time, because I'm smearing ink all over the place. And even though everything's sanitary and stuff, this doesn't look super professional. And if you were doing a tattoo on somebody else, you wouldn't want to have ink running down their leg and staining their white sock or something like that. So just something to take into consideration. I do have an intention to color in these tattoos in the future. My little AFI tattoo you saw earlier will be getting some orange for the flames, maybe a little bit of blue in there. I have a wizard directly below this Star of Chaos. I'm going to wait till he's all colored in before I decide what color the Star of Chaos is going to go. So I'm pretty happy with how we look right now, and they're going to stay this way through the end of the year. Maybe at some point around my birthday I'll think about coloring them in. Kind of wanted to make them rainbow. I draw a lot of rainbow Stars of Chaos. They're in a lot of my paintings, so it's possible that's the direction we're going to go. I am not sure yet. But yeah, thank you so much for checking out this video. We are not near the end yet. I hate it when YouTubers they'll say something like that. Thank you for checking out this video, and you look at the timestamp and there's still 3 minutes left. I just wanted to say I really appreciate, you being here today and stuff. And I, again, hope everybody's being safe and everybody's gonna have a nice holiday season and all that cheesy stuff. Speaking of the holidays, another project that I'd really like to do as soon as possible would be an image of a Krampus. It's my buddy Fiona in my other friend Miles's Krampus head. She's like wearing a robe and looking all disgruntled, and I'm trying to turn this photograph into a tattoo design because I think that would be like a perfect December tattoo to put a Krampus in my leg somewhere. There's a little bit of space between my wizard and my cicada. I think it deserves something bigger than that though. So, knock on wood that I'm not jinxing it, but that's something else I'd like to start soon. I have a ton more band ideas. I am going to finish this avatar tattoo, or at least make some more progress on it this week. But I have a lot of large, ambitious projects in my head, and I really need to be focusing on small ones so that I can be learning how to tattoo, instead of having delusions of grandeur of this massive homemade leg sleeve that's going to be my walking portfolio that I could show off for the rest of my life. We'll get there. I might be doing this backwards. Step A to Q to Z, back to B. We'll get there. We'll get there. But for now, seriously, thank you so much for, being part of this community and stuff like that. The support I've been getting has been amazing. Yeah, I appreciate you. Note, if you're tattooing, put your needles someplace safe. Look at me. Look at how responsible I am with my little sharps container. So, pat myself on the back. Good job, self, being responsible. So, here we go. The way I have begun wrapping these guys, I'm using cling medical tape and just makeup little spongy guys. Before I was using dry lock meat seal thingies, and they were making my skin itchy. So it's still a work in progress, trying to learn the best way to heal a tattoo. I have very sensitive skin, so I'm a great person to learn from, but I'm still learning, and I'm gonna learn the best way to heal a tattoo. I'm doing lots of experiments, and I don't want to give you incorrect information yet. So starting in 2022, we're gonna upgrade from informative to knowledgeable. I'm gonna go from learning how to fuck it up to here I have a year's experience under my belt. Here's how to heal. Here's how to keep it clean. Here's how to blah 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 blah. But we're making progress. I need to learn a little bit of color. That's a big focus of December, is learning some color packing. And then after that, I'm gonna feel like I maybe know what I'm talking about. I will see you next time, friends. Thank you.